All right. Now, I want to lay out some things for future predictions about Irene Aldana. Amanda Nunes said she retired, but I don't believe Irene is going to retire. She's going to fight on. But I've seen some people say that Irene is a good counter striker. She's not a counter striker at all. She might throw a counter strike here and there, but she is not a counter striker. Over 90% of the punches that are thrown at Irene does not throw no counters in response. What she does is just what you just saw right there. That's what she does over 90% of the time. All she does is block shots and just doesn't throw nothing in return. She'll block and move out the way. And what I'm saying is that's the big difference between her and Alexa Grasso. If you close distance like that to hit Grasso, she is releasing some shots in return immediately. She's not going to wait until you throw 4 or 5 punches like Irene Aldana does. Now, that was like the one and only counter strike that she threw. And it was only because Nunes got so comfortable with being a lead striker that she got way too close to Aldana and got lazy, got sloppy with her form and posture. That's why she took that. But most of these shots that Nunes threw, Irene, that's all she does. She gets hit and backs up. Turtle up, cower away just like that. She's not throwing no counters. And her counters are worthless. She is not a counter striker like that. In order for Irene to be dominant, in my opinion, she needs a fighter that's far beneath her own skill set. She needs a fighter that's far beneath her own skill set, that's not a good boxer, has relatively low volume, below average boxing. That's what makes Irene look good. A fighter with below average boxing. If your boxing is even somewhat decent, you're going to be competitive against Irene, just like Macy Chiasson. Macy is not a high-level boxer. She had a lot of success throwing hands with Irene because Irene is a very timid, she's not a counter striker. And Irene really does not know how to deal with hyper-aggressive fighters. She don't respond well to aggression. She don't respond well to a lot of volume. That's what it looks like to me with Irene Aldana. And she is definitely not a counter striker. She is just not. She absorbs far too many shots. Can't you tell that all of this hands up, this right here, what you see from her, that's her training. That's not instinct. She is like, remind me of Vladimir Klitschko. A lot of fighters are like that. They don't know how to fight. And that's why they take up fighting. They take up fighting because they don't know how to fight. So when they do learn how to fight, they're trained on how to fight, and they can't do nothing outside of their training. Nothing outside of what they were trained for. Aldana, shadow boxing in there. Not being assertive. So on top of not being a counter striker, she was not being aggressive at all. And like I said, a lack of aggression is the biggest problem for the women. That's their biggest problem. A lack of aggression. Standing there, looking at each other, throwing a little light, harmless jab. Far too often I see women, they're scared to get hit. They're not in the mood to get hit that day. They don't feel like looking busted up and beaten up. They don't want to get their face pounded in, so they fight a little delicate fight. You tap me, I tap you. Let's not beat each other up too bad. There are some fights like that. Rose, her comments after she fought Carla, I felt like, revealed that. It was like she told on the women with that statement where she said that she thought that both herself and Carla, she admitted that this was she was thinking. Rose said that she was thinking that she don't want to take no damage in this fight. I don't want to get my face messed up in this fight. And she said she felt like Carla was thinking the same thing. That sounds to me like other girls have thought the same thing. Aside from just you and Carla Esparza. This is a big cause of WMMA not evolving. Okay? One of the major attractions to male MMA is men's aggression levels, especially when we're in range. Now, here's the thing with Aldana. There's no excuse for her. There's no excuse. Counter striking is not that complicated. If you watch this fight, all throughout the fight, Nunes is throwing strikes at Aldana constantly and landing. And Aldana is not throwing strikes back. That's not what a counter striker does. A counter striker cannot wait for you to throw a strike. And if you're close enough to make contact with them, they're throwing something back. That is Alexa Grasso. If you're close enough to hit Alexa, just with her instinct, she knows she's close enough to hit you. And that is what all counter strikers do. You get close enough to hit them, you're going to have to deal with a shot coming back immediately. And you might have to deal with 2 or 3 coming back immediately. Some counter strikers, they will counter with flurries. Irene don't even counter with 1 strike. She's not a counter striker. So if you get formidable boxing yourself, Aldana folds. She folds in most exchanges. If you're being the aggressor, you're being first, you're taking the initiative, you're getting off first. Okay? She will have a passive style. She will use a passive style. Just that right there. Like I said, Nunes got hit just then because she got real sloppy. And she got sloppy because she got so comfortable being a lead striker and walking in on Irene because of Irene's horrible style. Now, I took Nunes in part because I knew Nunes was far more versatile than Irene. And I knew that she would kick Irene's leg to death. Irene with them big long legs, she have her legs all spread all far apart. Irene always constantly with her legs super far apart, and she's robotic. She's standing there with her feet flat to the floor, hands up, she can't see nothing. She's not counter striking. That's a horrible style that she fights in. It's horrible. In order for her to look good, she needs a low-level opponent with poor hands and preferably a fighter with poor mobility. Sort of like with Ketlin Vieira, where Aldana was able to just dance circles around Ketlin because Ketlin is a flat-footed plotter. So this is what I'm seeing from Aldana. In order for her to dominate, she needs a fighter that's far beneath her in skill set. She needs an opponent that's far beneath herself in skill set. Let's see if I can do something here. If I can pull this off. So, this is good information for future predictions. Irene Aldana predictions. Now you look at her record. The thing is, she stopped Macy, but she was getting whooped. She lost the 2nd round, and she was losing that 3rd round. Irene Aldana was losing because Macy figured out once you be super aggressive with Irene, she folds. She becomes more and more passive. And in that second round, Macy started to crank up the aggression. I'm pretty sure y'all noticed that. As soon as Macy cranked up her aggression, she started winning the fight. So Yana Kunitskaya, whole different story. Yana really don't have her hands are not that impressive, never have been in my opinion anyways, but she's not that good fleet of foot. Vanessa Milo, Ketlin Vieira. And I don't know if Aldana wins a rematch against Ketlin. But because Ketlin is so flat-footed and, she had more confidence against Ketlin Vieira. And plus, Ketlin really don't use kicks herself. She really don't use leg kicks. When she strikes, she's just a boxer herself. But Irene loses to the Penningtons, Holly Holm, Amanda, Macy Chiasson, and she lost to Lucy Pudilova. She lost that fight. I've watched that fight so many times, and each time I scored it for Lucy Pudilova. And if you watch that fight once again, Lucy was super aggressive with Irene Aldana. If Irene Aldana ever fights somebody like Josanne Nunes, man, please. Or a Chelsea Chandler. So I won't be picking Irene to be the next long-reigning champion. It's nothing personal. It's just business. Just my little predicting thing. Irene got a lot of work to do. Now, whether or not she's able to do it, to make those improvements, we will see. But what I saw in that film is that she's not really a counter striker. She might throw a counter strike here and there, but she's not programmed to counter strike. And a big reason because of that is because she's not a natural fighter. She don't have a natural instinct for fighting. She don't have a natural feel for fighting. She is not adaptive, reactive. She does not adapt to what her opponent is doing. The only thing she knows to do is to go in there and do what she was trained to do. So, yeah, not, in my opinion, quite championship material.